So here we go. We are today at the Metro Art Center at MG Road, and we are here to witness the Indie Comix Fest Bangalore 2022. So you are welcomed by a beautiful art gallery, as you guys can see. So this Indie Comic Fest has been happening after quite a long time. I think due to COVID or sorts, it's been kind of like not happening much. So it's a delightful place to be in. If you guys have not tried it before, definitely do check out the Indie Comic Fest. And while it started with Bangalore, it's going to happen in other cities like Delhi, Cochin, and many other cities. It's a wonderful place for artists to come across and show what stuff they've been making, independent stuff. You don't find the mainstream DC, Marvel, Image, those kind of stuff don't find a place here. These are artists who have created their own work and they've come with published forms of those, which you can in fact go check out. Talk to the people like Apupen was here and he had some great fantastic stuff. In fact, I bought some of his stuff which I'll show you later in the video. So the best part of all of this is that you get to meet the creators face to face, talk to them what it means to create and what does their creation mean, right? So there is a backstory behind it, and that's the best part of it, right? So I found many people engaged in conversations with these folks and getting their books, signing them off, right? That's another wonderful stuff to do, right? You get it right from the creator's hand. And then of course there was coverage, which was great to see, right? These people need all the interest they can. And I found some beautiful books as well. This is the Alcazar, which has been published by Comics India. So in case you guys want to buy this one, you can check out comicsindia.org. I felt it was a beautiful book on Bangalore. It's about how an entire building gets built up in Bangalore, and there are other stuff that Comics India has put up, and we met the publisher in person as well. And I also found there were many people who had come with a lot of artwork of sorts. There was no comic per se, but just drawings and creations and paintings and those sort of stuff. So the number of comics there, I would say, unfortunately, was limited. Or it was very early primitive stages. Not many published works these guys had, but they had a lot of interesting concept arts, 2 or 3 pages stuff, and this kind of stuff that you guys see right now. There was also Buckermax who made an appearance. Good to see them. And this person, interestingly, she had some beautiful drawings with her. And then there was also other guys who brought up, they had stickers, they had posters, they had sketches and so on and so forth, right? And I bought some interesting stuff that's going, you will soon start seeing them. It was a busy place. That's good to see. It was just a one-day event, just for few hours, and you could easily get a table. I think it was around $500 or so. So it is pretty cheap compared to some, like, imagine you getting a table at the Comic Con, which is expensive, really expensive. And then this lady, she had some great stuff which was around social causes, and some people I've never heard of before. So there are people who came with a message of sorts, and then there were some very interesting art forms, as you guys can see, the ones you can just go and pin up in your walls. The best part of this entire event is the way people get to meet each other, like I said earlier. And I picked up some stuff from this guy as well, and I'm going to put up all those guys in comments. This is a panoramic view of the whole place, just below the metro station in Bangalore. And yep, that's where I bid adieu to the whole event. And now I'm going to show you what were my pickups from this entire event, and some colorful ones they have, right? There's a poster which you guys can see, and there are some comic books. I preferred myself to pick up more comics than more artwork and sketches and sort, although some of those do fly in their place in this small little hall. So the main reason that why I bought this stuff was to support their cause, and so that they can go ahead and publish more stuff beyond Indie Comix Fest. And that's how the community will grow in times to come, right? So kudos to them. I'm going to share some of their names and handles in the description below. So we're going to start with The Plane, which is a one shot by Senorita, and I'm going to share her Instagram handle as well. It's a very simple plain book. It's in manga style, which is very interesting because I thought she was the only one out there who had a manga kind of art form. Everybody else has the traditional stuff, right? So this is just a 4-pager comic book of sorts, and that's a freebie of sorts which came with that. And it's all about a paper plane, which is very interesting concept. I'd love to see more and read more of her stuff when it comes out in times to come. And she had a beautiful rough art book in her hands which showed all the stuff, how she built it from scratch. So great stuff, right? I think a great artist in the making. But yeah, that's where we'll start, and we'll go to this one, which is called the Spacey Mixed Specimen by Steve Menzies. Obviously the best part about all this is you can get it signed right from all these folks directly. So I did that, and I found it to be very interesting read. It had some putting a man in the outer space and what he comes across and the goofiness that comes with it. So yeah, it was fun. It was more like a comic strip of sort. I would not say it's a comic book. So it's a collection of different comic strips that he had made and put it on the internet. Yeah, it was a fun read, and there was some continuity as well, right? Some of the characters who gets introduced in season 1 follows you to season 2. Very colorful. I like the combination of different colors that's been used, and that's the guy, as you can see. And hopefully I'll meet him again next time I go. And he's on Insta and everything as Shell Comics. Again, I'll leave those details below for you guys to find him and his artwork. The same goes for this one. It's a continuation from the earlier one, right? The layout obviously is not, because some of this, like I said, right, it's not made for a comic book format. It was made like a comic strips, and then it was put together in this book and published. So yeah, that's the Spacey Mixed Specimen from Shell Comics. Now we go to Halahala. I think this, I really loved meeting Apupan and the Halahala world which he's created. I just picked up a couple of books. That's his sign. He signed it for me. I really loved the concepts that's being created and beautiful comics that I picked up, right? After reading this too, in one sitting, I just finished all this off. I really loved it, especially this one, which is a silent comic. It's just tells you the story through the silent art form, right? How this alien, goes through the, I would say, a dump yard of all the robotic beings of sorts, and then finds something very interesting and takes back to revive his love of sorts. I mean, that's my read of the whole book, but I felt it was wonderful. The other one, which was around, follows the story of the seedlings from the flowers, which flows through, and what it finally, and what they have to suffer on the way, and finally what it manifests itself into, which was like superb, right? So, and how the whole circle of life comes to be. That was the other story. So 2 stories I really loved picking. This book, I would say it's one of the best pickups of the lot, and I will be definitely looking forward to read more from Halahala and Apupan in times to come. And the book was also published and in very good condition. So it's like a good, the wraparound cover itself was another thing, which I was a bit surprised by, the quality of the stuff that was part of this collection from Apupan. The other one, this is called The Garden of the Stake, and the other one is called Rashtraman. Again, he's named it as Rashtrayana, and he gave me his sign and the symbol of it right on the cover. Again, great art quality. This one is more a political satire of sorts. It brings into plays multiple characters who's mocking at the society a lot. But again, once the story unfolds and it's being told, it really makes sense why some of these things are placed next to each other. So that way I really found it a very interesting read. It even makes references to our neighbors, and how each of them gets perceived in this narrative is really cool. Yeah, and you can see the color combinations again. It's brilliant. it goes and with the flow and the story which is expected to. I think there are three main characters in this story, which I think it's there. Yeah, Gomutra. Definitely would recommend picking more from Apupan and the world of halahala, and you can find those in I think Amazon and different other websites. It's already available, so I can leave a link behind and you can check it out. And after this comics, what did I pick up? I picked up some sketches and some art forms and artwork of sorts. In fact, I think there is one more small comic which I really loved. Again, it's like a very concept face kind of comic, but I thought it was really good. I'm going to show that. Before that, this is the comic strip of the Ryan Menses art. This is how he intended to make it in the first place, and this is the comic which I was talking to you about. He's named it as 5-star. I mean, translation is 5-star, and it's around the story of the delivery guys who come and deliver stuff for you. And he's given me a beautiful handwritten note on what it means and what the delivery guys go through every day in their life. So that's the story. It's a very, very plain vanilla artwork, but the message of the story and it's showcasing the life of a delivery guy. I thought it was marvelous. I think it's a brilliant thought process, well executed piece of work, and I would recommend him to go and take this to maybe a Zomato or a Swiggy, so that they can actually in fact make more sense out of this and give it to those as like even hand it over to the guys who are ordering food from them. It really makes a lot of sense, and my appreciation for the delivery guys have gone up a notch after this. Again, he gave me one more poster of this, which is a hand drawn poster. Again, very, very nice and sweet gesture of him. I think their Instagram handle is called Lalbatti. Again, I'm going to leave the details with you below. And this is one of the best piece of artwork book I found there, little by little. Unfortunately, the book, whole book was not for sale. I'm going to show you the poster and details again. This is the artist whom I met, and I bought a hand-drawn art form from her, and this is the one I picked up. Really beautiful amalgamation of all colors of this lady, just going into the bathtub after a very heavy day, and of course got it signed as well. That's like I said, right, you need to get everything signed. That's the most interesting part. It lays a personalized touch to everything that you bought. So after this, my last piece of thing which I wanted to showcase again is little by little. This is the poster I bought. I'm going to show a quick glance of the book itself. This is the book which is not out and print yet, but I'm going to purchase it whenever it is. So this is a part from that book, or one of the pictures from the book. It will show you how detailed the person has gone into describing his book. And I really loved this poster of the Durga Puja happening, and there is a backstory to all of this. I'm not going to reveal it to you. You can go to, I'm going to leave you the link, the Little by Little website link, and you can actually read the story for free, right? So it's out there. It's not there in a printed format because I think he's still searching for the right publisher for it, but it's a beautiful story, and you can read it on littlebylittle.com directly. So yeah, that was the collage or combination of all the stuff that I picked up from the Indie Comix Fest. I was very lucky to be there on this weekend and end up going there. So very happy, very excited. And if you like this, do subscribe, and let's meet next time.